The next stop in the MCU is here. On today's episode, I'm going to be giving my non-spoiler thoughts on the new movie, SpiderMan Brand New Day. So, get ready for some web slinging action as Cine James Movie Talk starts now. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Cine James Movie Talk. I am your host, Mr. Cine James himself, and today I am going to be giving my non-spoiler thoughts on the new movie, SpiderMan Brand New Day. But before we get into that, as always, you know what to do. If you like the show, you like the content, you're listening to me on YouTube or Spotify, hit that like, hit that subscribe, show me some love, and as always, I appreciate all of your support. Before we get into my non-spoiler thoughts, again, these are going to be non-spoiler thoughts. I'm not going to ruin anything for you on this, so you can actually go and enjoy this movie, because trust me, you are going to want to do absolutely that. But before we get into it, let me give you just a little bit of the stats on this movie, even though we don't have much for it because it just came out. So, of course, Spider-Man, Brand New Day. Releases today on July 31st, so it is fresh out the gate. This movie is directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, and has a budget of between $200 to $220 million. There is no box office for this yet. Again, this movie just came out, but I am predicting right now massive box office numbers for this movie. Quite possibly, I'll say it right here. I know The Odyssey is doing absolutely amazing, but I'm gonna say it right here. I think that until we get to Doomsday, I think that this is gonna be the biggest box office movie of the year. I really, really do. After seeing it, all the hype that went into it, all the conversations going on with this movie, I really think this will be, until we get to Doomsday, until Doomsday releases, this is going to be the biggest box office movie of the year. So we are now going to get into my non-spoiler thoughts on Spider-Man Brand New Day. This movie was awesome. I don't even know where to start with this. This was a fun movie, and it had a mix of everything. This thing took you on highs and lows. It had you laughing. It had you crying. It brought so many different emotions out of you with watching this. Basically, this movie picks up in the timeline. It's roughly about, I believe it's roughly about 3 to 4 years since the events of Spider-Man No Way Home. And of course, we're getting all of our cast back. We're getting Tom Holland back. We're getting Zendaya back. We have Jacob Batalon back. And then we're also adding Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, the Hulk. We have John Bernthal as Frank Castle, Punisher. And I want to say, having him in this, it was absolutely fun. A lot of within this movie, a lot of my enjoyment with this movie and fun with this movie for me was having the Punisher in this. And what he brought to this movie was absolutely just, it was a fun ride with the Punisher. Again, I don't want to spoil a lot. I don't want to spoil anything to this, but what Spider-Man, Peter Parker, has to face in this, it's let me just say this as a superhero fan, as a fan of the MCU, and just superhero fan all the way around. With what Tom Holland, what Peter Parker, Spider-Man, what he has to face in this, it's really exciting, and I have talked about this on previous episodes, and we've talked about this on my other show that I co-host alongside with the Big Rob Theory, Super Cinema Bros. We have talked about how where we are finally at with certain characters and certain places now with the MCU, that we're finally here getting certain characters, certain things, and how exciting it is that now they are now coming into this universe, and this movie shows that. And again, not going to spoil anything, but when we get to that in this movie, it's really exciting. Again, I think the action in this movie the action in this movie is absolutely amazing. The way some of the scenes are shot, it's there is a few action scenes, and there was one action scene in particular towards the last act of the movie that is absolutely visually, and just the action in it, it's absolutely amazing. This one, this is Tom Holland's fourth entry as far as his standalone Spider-Man movies, and I have to say it, and I'm going to echo a lot of the thoughts that many others have had. I think overall, I think this is his best performance as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. The emotions he goes on with this, the emotions that he takes everyone else with on here, and how he's dealing with his life with MJ and Ned, again, because of what happened at the events of Spider-Man No Way Home, and you feel those emotions when you're seeing him in this. You're feeling that, and I think that this is without a doubt. I think this is Tom Holland's best performance as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Of course, Zendaya as MJ, she knocks it out of the park again. And Jacob Batalon as Ned. The trio, again, how they're interacting in this, and how you're seeing them deal with, in their own ways, the repercussions of No Way Home. It's you feel for all three of these characters in this. It was fun to see. And again, I'm not spoiling anything. This has been in the trailers. Mark Ruffalo's performance in this as Bruce Banner and the Hulk. It was fun to watch. I had a good time. And it was a healthy mix. It was a healthy mix of Bruce Banner and the Hulk. Really good. Once again, from Mark Ruffalo. And I want to go back to, again, John Bernthal as the Punisher. His chemistry with Peter Parker, his chemistry with Spider-Man in this is absolutely, you go on a fun ride with these characters, and it really, their chemistry, and you really feel it, again, when you get to the last act of this movie, what they brought together on screen. Wow. And this is one of those movies that, and it's been a while since I've experienced this in the theater. So I just got out of it was crazy to think about this. I went to a late showing. It was a 12:01 a.m. showing. So I just got out of this not too long ago. And there were quite a few people in the theater for a 12:01 a.m. showing. And for the people that were in this theater with me, I have not experienced this in a while, but there was a lot of reaction and emotion from people during this movie. And again, I haven't experienced that. I want to say, I haven't experienced that since Endgame. So that was really, it was fun to have that kind of feeling again. We all went on this ride with this movie. It is that good. Now, what I'm not sure of, well, let me hold on to that. And again, not going to spoil anything, but the post-credit scene, I think that it can be interpreted many different ways. Again, I'm not going to say anything to it until I get to my spoiler review, but I think that when we talk about it on my spoiler review, I wasn't sure. I was kind of confused by it at first. I had some thoughts with it, and I'm not going to share those thoughts here because I don't want to spoil anything. But when I actually messaged my co-host on Super Cinema Bros, I actually messaged the Big Rob Theory, and we kind of chatted up the post-credit scene, and I shared with him my thoughts on it. And I think for the most part, we're on the same page with it. And when we get to where we are going to have our duo discussion on this movie, we're going to kind of deep dive into that, and we're going to find out if the rest of everyone else is on the same page with that. So that's good. But I think that the post credit scene, it was interesting and left open for a lot of interpretation. But if it's what I think it is, I think it's kind of a tease of what is ahead. Overall, now here's what I wanted to get to. Because I've heard some people say that they feel that this is the best Spider-Man movie, and I will say this: when it comes to, here's what I will say. Do I think that this movie is better than the Sam Raimi trilogy? Yes. Do I think that this movie's better than the Mark Webb, Andrew Garfield duology? Yes. Where do I think that this is the best movie in the Tom Holland Spider-Man series? It's very close. Again, for me, it's really, really close because I still feel like I like No Way Home just a little bit more. But it's right up there. I'm right there with it. We are literally splitting hairs. But I don't know. I can't 100% say out of the Tom Holland series that I think that this is the best one. But it's really, really close. Again, guys, go see this. Please go see this in theaters. You are going to have an amazing time with it. You are going to have a spectacular, to kind of play on some of the Spider-Man wordage there. You're just going to have a fun time with this. This movie is going to take you on a bunch of different emotions. But visually, and here's the other thing, because we talked about this on the last episode that we did on Super Cinema Bros, where we were talking about the Mark Webb, Andrew Garfield series, and one of the things I said about that series was that, again, pre not seeing this movie, was that the web swinging action, I think in the Mark Webb, Andrew Garfield series, out of all of them, even including the 3 Tom Holland movies up to this movie, I think were the best. And watching this, I'm not sure if I still feel that same way. I'm going to give this movie, of course, another watch, but the web swinging, the views, the point of views, the cameras, the visuals with this wow. This was, I will say this, in the Tom Holland series, this is the best web swinging action. I also, I think this movie just gave me some different perspectives, with where I place Tom Holland as on the, like when we talked about in Super Cinema Bros, we talked about, what Tobey Maguire brought to the role, what Andrew Garfield brought to the role. And one of the things I said when we talked about this on the last episode was I think that overall, Andrew Garfield was the best Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I have to say, I don't know if I feel that same way now after seeing this. I think when you see this movie, what Tom Holland delivers as both Peter Parker and Spider-Man, that task with this movie, it was absolutely impressive. Wow. I mean, he put on a performance in this movie. And again, awesome supporting cast around him. And like I said, I want to see more team ups with him and Punisher. I had a blast with it. I had a really fun time with it. So again, go see this movie. Just go see it. You are doing yourself a disservice if you do not go and see this in theaters. And again, I think that we talked about this before, and I've talked about this before. This movie, for me, again, I'm speaking for me. I think right now we're getting back into that excitement again for the MCU. We're getting back into it because we just had the Doomsday trailer release. We're getting more footage from Doomsday. Now SpiderMan Brand New Day, how awesome this movie is. And we're getting the re-release of Endgame here in a couple months. And then in December, we get Avengers Doomsday. This is a really awesome time for the MCU. It's an awesome time to be a fan. So I'm really excited for this movie, and the post-credit scene and what they introduced in this movie. I'm ready for it. I'm excited. And again, it's really awesome with certain things that they've introduced in this movie that we're finally at that point. We are finally, again, we're finally there as we go into the next phases of the MCU. So that is going to do it for my non-spoiler thoughts on Spider-Man Brand New Day. Once again, guys, if you like the show, you like the content, you're listening to me on YouTube, Spotify, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Please show me some love. I greatly appreciate the support. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram at CineJames Movie Talk. Again, that is going to do it for this episode. I will be coming up next on the show. Will be my full. It'll be sometime early next week. I want to give it a few days for everybody to go enjoy this movie. So here in a few days, probably next week, I will be giving my full spoiler thoughts to Spider-Man Brand New Day, and we're going to deep dive some of the stuff within the movie, because again, going into spoiler territory, so you're not going to want to miss that. And then on my other show with the Big Rob Theory, Super Cinema Bros, we are going to be doing a spoiler discussion on Spider-Man Brand New Day. That is going to be next week as well. And then within that spoiler discussion, we're also going to do a little summary, a little recap of the first three Spider-Man movies. We'll probably talk about Spider-Man's appearance in Civil War, talk a little bit about his appearances in Infinity War and Endgame. We're just going to kind of chat up the Tom Holland series leading into Spider-Man Brand New Day. So once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. And as always, I will see you at the box office.